All right, welcome back, everyone. We didn't really go anywhere. We were covering our patch
DotA
notes
team ban.
for 6.86, but yeah, maybe you're watching the VODs or whatever. But we're back. We're going to talk about our final game of the night, the Dota 2 Canada Cup,
Radiant
Group
team
D.
ban.
We've got Shazam going up against Not Today, and Not Smash gets said in chat. Yep, Not Smash. He's not on Not Today anymore. That was the old Not Today. This is DDX, Ben Jazz, those guys. Goody. And yeah,
5 seconds remaining.
let's talk about what's going on here. We've got Shazam already with 2 wins in the group, looking to
Reserve
finish
time.
perfect, as you only play 3 games in the group. So they're playing all 3 games in our first night of Group D, and they've already taken our first 2 matches. So they're going to look to take a third here, and if they do, then that guarantees they advance to the next round. As it stands right now, if they lose this, there is the chance that we can have a 3-way tiebreaker if all the other games pan out to make that lineup. But
Radiant team pick.
yeah, let's not jump to conclusions here. But yeah, so if they win here, they advance to the next round. If they don't, they still have a pretty good chance of advancing to the next round, but not guaranteed. Speaking of advancing to the next round, the way it works is we've got 4 teams in each group. The top 2 teams, each team plays each other first of all. So best of ones. And when it's all said and done, after the 6 games have been played, we'll play 3 tonight,
10
3 tomorrow night
seconds
to finish the
remaining.
group. The top 2 teams advance. They go to the playoffs. The bottom 2
5
eliminated
seconds
from the
remaining.
tournament. So we know Shazam, they're sitting at 2-0. Not Today's,
Reserve
hasn't played a
time.
game yet. And our other 2 teams are sitting at 0-1 because they lost to Shazam. So let's catch up in the draft. We got Gyro and Doom banned out by Shazam. Winter Wyvern and Undying were the bans for Not Today. Then we had Shadow Fiend and Dazzle getting picked up. And Darkseer and Tusk getting picked up for Not Today. Asked about who was first pick. First pick was, I believe, Not Today. And I believe it
DotA
was the
team
Darkseer.
pick.
No, it might have actually been Shadow Fiend. I don't know, I can't do the math right now. God, I'm drawing a complete blank. Either way, whatever, we'll skip through it. We've got Alk and Queen of Pain getting banned out by Shazam. Vengeful Spirit and Huskar getting removed by Not Today. Then our third pick, Ancient Apparition. So where do we stand right now?
10
Well,
seconds remaining.
We've got Darkseer going to be the offlaner for Not Today. Tusk probably a
5
roaming support.
seconds
And
remaining.
Ancient Apparition probably going to be the stay-at-home support, protecting the safe laner.
Reserve time.
As for Shazam, Shadow Fiend going to be in the mid lane. We can pretty much assume that. Although if it just isn't going to work out, they may slide him into the safe lane position if it gets way too threatening for him. But then Dazzle going to be the safe lane support, as we see that combo getting picked quite often, the Dazzle Shadow Fiend. And part of that Dazzle pick has prompted the ban of Huskar from Not Today. But now Shazam, they're taking their time with their pick here. Their Dazzle has been countered quite a bit by the Ancient Apparition. But the Weave is still very, very strong in conjunction with the Shadow Fiend. PPD hero pool reduced from 1 to 0. Pretty much. What would he play? What would he play if he was in this game right now? I mean, he'd either play the Dazzle or the AA. But let's assume Dazzle and AA are no longer. If we're just looking at the heroes left in the hero pool, who would he play? Winter Wyvern's gone, Dazzle's
Radiant
gone,
team
Ancient Apparition's
pick.
gone. Undying's gone. He's got no heroes. Crystal Maiden, I guess. Night Stalker going to be the pickup for Shazam. So probably going with that offlane Night Stalker again. We saw
DotA
Vax play
team
that in our
pick.
first game of the night. Now, Not Today picking up the Templar Assassin to go mid against the Shadow Fiend. TA, a strong counter to SF. Oh, he meant from the patch change, Niz. Oh. Damn. I haven't gotten there yet. I know that he's removed. That's all I know. I don't know what the actual changes are to him. I just know there's a
10
lot and he got
seconds
removed.
remaining.
So we'll get there. We're on Ember Spirit. We're
5
not on Winter
seconds
Wyvern yet.
remaining.
We're getting there. We gotta finish this game though. We got Shazam waiting
Reserve
to
time.
pick up probably their support here. Their second support. Probably going to be another aggressive hero. Probably one that you can park in the offlane with the Night Stalker. We saw them run Night Stalker Undying in game 1. That worked quite well for them. Undying got banned out in the first round by Not Today, so that's not going to be an option for them. But pairing another hero with Night Stalker in the offlane I think would be great for them. And maybe even one
10
that
seconds
would be
remaining.
good at roaming towards mid to mess with the TA. Visage. That's
Radiant
one, I guess.
team banned.
That would be good in the offlane. Do you start with the Visage mid against the TA? I think you have to. Because you want a hero mid with the Shadow Fiend to help him get souls to get a good start against the
10
TA.
seconds
And you don't
remaining.
really want to sacrifice your Dazzle from the top lane because you want to try and
5
zone
seconds
Darkseer out as long
remaining.
as you can from getting his level 2. Once Darkseer gets level 2, he's able to offlane much,
Reserve
much better.
time.
So I think we're probably going to see the Visage just start in the mid lane against the TA with the Shadow Fiend. Final ban, Slardar going to get banned out. They're not
Dire
convinced
team
that
ban.
Night Stalker's an offlaner. I guess. No, I guess they'd be assuming that they're just going to go safe lane Slardar. I'm not a fan. I don't think that...
Radiant
I mean, it gives them
team
great
pick.
minus armor. I don't like the synergy with their team. It's good against TA, I guess. I'm just not a fan of it. Ember Spirit, the final ban from Shazam. So, Not Today is going to be
10
looking for their safe
seconds
laner here. We've got TA mid, Darkseer off lane, Tusk, Ancient Apparition, the two supports.
5 seconds
A is going to be
remaining.
safe lane, Tusk probably going to be off lane with the Darkseer, but also roaming around.
Reserve time.
Solo Visage mid, I wish. Wraith King,
Dire team pick.
I like it. King of the fight. Just jumps in, doesn't care about anything. Lycan, what? Huh. Lycan. Why Lycan? Why Lycan? Why Lycan? What is great about Lycan here? I don't like it safe lane against Darkseer. Maybe it actually is good against Darkseer early on.
Prepare for battle.
You've got your wolves out and you just right click down the Iron Shell before he's able to get levels? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Whatever. Let's introduce our teams and our players. Let's start with Not Today. On the Radiant side, we've got the TA. Going to be played by Saijuro. God, another tough name for me. We got DDX playing the Darkseer. Goody's going to be playing the Ancient Apparition. Benjaz is going to be playing the Wraith King. And Kaka is going to be playing the Tusk. As for our Dire side, it's Shazam. We saw them play 2 games tonight already. We've got SVG. He's going to be playing the Dazzle. The Visage. That's not.
30
it's not a
seconds to
little.
battle.
I don't know how to say it. A Lil Sage, I believe is how. I don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But yeah, it's MSS playing the Visage instead. We've got then one of the 2 Ritsus. Which one is it? I believe that is Mason playing the Lycan. Then we've got actual Ritsu playing the Shadow Fiend, I believe. That's which one's which. And then we've got Brax playing the Night Stalker in the off lane, which you can't really see because the game is paused. But there he is. But it wouldn't be a competitive game without a pause. So let's, I guess, go over our items. Starting items. What do we got? We got nothing too surprising so far from the Radiant side. Everything pretty standard. And for the Dire, everything's standard as well. Boots in the off lane for the Night Stalker, which is quite good against the heroes he's going to be going against. I like it. Besides that, we got 2 mangoes on either side. No difference between the two. Shazam equals vampires and werewolves. I mean, I guess. Well, we got a 4-man grouping here from either side going for the top bounty rune, but Shazam's going to back away, and Brack's going to lose the right-click war for the bottom rune. Benjaz going to get that. So both bounty runes going the way of Not Today. We actually saw the same thing happen, was it last game? Or our first game of the night, but Shazam actually ended up with both runes. Can't remember which game that was, but let's talk about our lanes here. We've got a courier coming in, delivering it. Healing Salve. We've got Templar Assassin going up against Shadow Fiend in the mid lane. Top lane, duo off lane, Darkseer Tusk, as we predicted, going up against a defensive try of Dazzle, Winter Wyvern. I'm used to seeing that big dragon. It's a Visage, not a Winter Wyvern, and Lycan. And bottom lane, we've got Ancient Apparition and Wraith King going up against the Night Stalker. But interesting that they haven't put one of the supports mid to help out the Shadow Fiend, as I thought they might in the draft. And we can already see what's happening. Look at the Shadow Fiend, 0-1 CS right now. Whereas TA sit at 7-5. This is very, very difficult for Shadow Fiend to get last hits here. He needs to get raises, and he's going to have to use them immediately to get a creep kill there. Oh, you guys are already calling me out about missing first blood. I haven't even missed it yet. Have faith, guys. Have faith. This could be a game of no T-tours. It could be. We'll see. As I don't know exactly where the kill's going to be. I believe it's going to be probably in the top lane, but we'll see. As Wraith King and AA do actually have decent kill potential on this Night Stalker, but the boots first on the Night Stalker make it kind of difficult. Top lane is probably going to be where the action is. That's got the highest kill potential. Regeneration. Look at this. Ritsu is just softening up the TA here, and now Kaka going to rotate on in. He will just barely keep his TA alive, and oh no, TA actually got hit while having the healing salve up. So the healing salve got knocked off by the creep. And now he'll actually get salved by Kaka, so it's okay. Snowball forward from Kaka onto Ritsu. But this is under tower, he's going to think better of it and back away. Meanwhile, on the top lane, DDX getting harassed back. Still, this Shadow Fiend sitting at 7-1 CS right now. TA at 19-10. 10 denies. This is why you always see a support starting off in the mid lane, especially when there's a Shadow Fiend, to help your Shadow Fiend and make sure that this doesn't happen. Now I've got a rotation from Kaka, making his way towards bottom. He's going to wrap in behind here on Brax. And Brax could be in trouble here. We also have action up in the top lane as Darkseer is getting wrapped around on as well. But Brax is going to get trapped by the Ice Shards, and First Blood is caught. We got it, boys. We got it. And his DDX was, he was pushed up all the way up here, and we had the Visage coming in behind him, but he was alright. So we don't miss a kill just yet.
Dire's bottom tower is
we do cast the First Blood, and that's Brax going down, as Not Today gets off to a pretty good start up against Shazam here. Actually see how well DDX is doing in terms of XPs. Level 2.5. He's going to try to steal some of this XP. He'll probably come around and stop around here. I love you guys in chat. T2. Wait, what? He got it? I don't understand. Am I on a different stream? 4-minute rune. This means Night Stalker's got that first night, but he's not going to get a rune. Kaka's going to get the bottom one, it's the bounty, but the actual rune is in Viz top. TA's going to take it. She's going to get Ion Shelled, she's going to pop it, she's going to go mid and try to get some damage in. As you've got to know what's going on here. And he's just going to open up on him. He doesn't have melt, so fortunately he doesn't have that burst damage. Meanwhile, Kaka and Brax are exchanging hits here, or at least Brax is exchanging hits. Kaka, he doesn't... Kaka, what are you doing? Okay, that worked. That worked. I don't think that's what he wanted with that ice shards. He definitely wanted to put it, end up with it between the two of them, but he got away, so that was the important part. Now Brax making his way towards mid. Checking. Camps. Is he going to wrap around? He's waiting for the courier, but the courier's not coming. He's going to come check the ancients now, maybe? No, now he's just going to TP back to mid. I think he thought he was going to be able to catch the TA backing or something there. I'm not really 100% sure. Looked like he was actually looking for the courier. But the courier had already gone all the way back, and it was starting to head top. Now it's going to head and deliver some observer wards. Checking on our offlaners again. We're at level 4, and Brax already almost a full level ahead. Yes, there was a dual lane for the Darks here to start things off, but Brax actually been doing a pretty damn good job in terms of acquiring XP. One of the issues still remains that this TA sitting at 36 and 15 CS and the SF falling behind 27 and 7, and now the TA is going to get a lot of gold from doing these ancient stacks when she chooses to get them. It's a regen rune for the SF. This is actually quite big for him. Means he can just freely raise the waves and pretty much get everything. But he's got to be very careful. This smoke from Not Today is they'll slow them down, and Dazzle, oh no, they're actually going to go right for the Shadow Fiend. Dazzle actually has to grave himself. And now they just switch to the SF. I think they're going to be able to get both. Dazzle's going to go down. Ritsu's going to try to run. But he's surrounded by 4 heroes on the side of Not Today, and he's going to go down. So double kill from Not Today as they get the 3rd kill of the game, and still Shazam, they're not on the board yet. Still 0 kills for them. He's Not Today starting to pour on the aggression. We're going to get a stun. Wraith Fire Blast coming up from Benjaz onto Brax. Tusk comes snowballing on in. He does have an Ion Chill with him. That'll help the damage, but Dazzle TP's on in. And I don't think you want to keep going into a Dazzle. Shallow Grave's still on cooldown, though, from that mid fight, but still, the heal bombs are scary.
Dark light!
Take a look at our Lycan, see what he's doing. He's got his headdress, his Vlad's. His Vlad's is actually finished. He just needs to bring out all the items. He's out in front, 51 and 8 in terms of CS, just ahead of the TA, sitting at 50 and 16. SF still struggling, 31 and 7. Safe lane Wraith King, the counterpart to Lycan, is at 50 and 10. So the two safe laners pretty much even. And that's what you expect. We didn't really have too much aggression coming out to contest either of them. Wraith Fire Blast will get on to Brax, but he's gotten pretty far away. He's got those boots, and it's nighttime. Night's about to end in 10 seconds, but it should allow him the freedom to get back to the tower. Oh no, the grave will come out. Thought maybe Brax was going to go down there, but he will get back to the safety of the tower. That right click from flying in from Goody would have finished him off, but Brax got the magic stick off in time and lived. So Brax just barely escaping there. It was really thanks to SVG, who was just kind of hanging out here in behind, protecting his offlaner.
Double deity.
And as Ritsu comes back from the jungle, I believe he had a stack up there, so he's clearing that. But Lycan's pretty much been sitting there in the jungle, and that's created some space for MSS to farm on this Visage. Visage, a very greedy position for support. It needs a lot more farm. Think back to when Aoi used to play it a lot. Very, very greedy. Lots of farm required. To hear that I actually used to play for my last team. I wasn't necessarily the greatest Visage. I wasn't the worst, but I was our Visage player. But it's, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those heroes that... when you can micro it, it does so much damage. It's actually unreal how well it can do. Soul Assumption is actually crazy. And I actually want to take a look at MSS's build and it's a little bit too late to check in. But Lil has been putting 2 points into Grave Chill before, like at level 3, before he's got another point into Soul Assumption. I thought that was really interesting. I wanted to see what MSS did. I'll have to go back and look at the replay after this to see if he went for that skill build as well. The Nizage, exactly. It was alright. I mean, I wasn't bad. It wasn't my best hero, that's for sure. But it was at a time where it was just so strong of a hero that it was kind of the go-to pick to say, you know what, if you're going to try to aggro Tri-Lane into us, you're doing it into a Visage.
Tower is
and
under
you're
attack.
not going to win. Action up here from Not Today is they're going to look to try to get a 4th kill here. They're going to go for the Lycan. They're going to get a stun off. Ice Shards aren't actually going to trap him, but they will be able to chase him down. There's no Dazzle here for the Grave. He's all the way down in the bottom lane, and we're actually going to have our first kill from Shazam as they're going to get the kill on the Tusk. But Benjaz, he's not done. He's going to get revenge. But he's going to go down, but he does have his ult. When he respawns, is he going to still want to fight? No, he's going to try to back away as SVG has arrived on the scene as well. And Benjaz, he doesn't have any teammates anywhere near him, as the Darkseer was actually going down to Brax, who came in from behind with the Night Stalker, and now we're going to have Benjaz go down as well. But yeah, Brax killed the Darkseer over here, so he was able to wrap in behind. As Ice Blast going to fly out, there's no one low enough for that to catch, but it'll fly to the fountain. As we're going to have a battle for this ancient stack as Brax is going to go down.
Your death was a secret.
T-Tours, I mean, I guess I could have looked. Watched the Darkseer die, and then hop back. Actually, hop back here to watch Benjaz die. So I guess T-Tours, I'm sorry. I apologize. It was going so well. Well, we've hit 11 minutes. Let's actually swap 2 net worths here. See who's leading the way. No surprise, it's the TA. And actually surprising, it's Shadow Fiend 2nd place. Would have expected it would have been the safe laners ahead of the Shadow Fiend because of the start he had. But I guess some of that kill gold they just got in the top lane worked out. Yeah, still a pretty considerable lead for the TA, sitting at 6.5k. And we'll actually take a look at, in total, what that means. And it means a dead even game, actually. Right at 0. And you can see that there was a 500 net worth lead for Shazam prior to that. So, sorry, this is what happened. It was almost a 500 gold lead for Not Today. Then that team fight happened. Shazam ended up with 500 gold lead, and now Not Today is out farming them, bringing it back. XP 500 in favor of Shazam as well. Well, Benjaz is going to get slowed up. Ritsu's running in haste. He doesn't even need to pop into his wolf form. Benjaz already has the blade now. He's going to pop that, reflecting some of the damage. But that's not going to be enough. Ritsu will get hit by the Ice Blast, but that haste is too strong. Kaka was snowballing after him, but that just pulled Kaka way out of position. And Shazam just going to turn around, get that kill on to the Tusk. And then they'll gladly just say, you know what? You guys can keep back, and we're going to go for your tier 1 in the bottom lane. Not Today's not going to give it up, though. They're coming back. They're not going to give up this tier 1 tower. They have to pop. They're fortified for mid, so now it's not available in the bottom lane. We will have a smoke from Not Today, as they're going to look to... I was thinking that they were going to look to try and defend their bottom tier 1, but they're just saying, you know what? They're going to realize that we're going to back away and give them this. We'll go for Roche. Great play call from Not Today. We had Wolves. Uh-oh. We have a disconnect from Mason. How fitting is that face? But yeah, we got a disconnect from Mason, so hopefully he'll reconnect in just a second. It looks like this Roche is definitely going to go down in favor of Radiant, as I don't think there's any way that the Dire side's going to be able to contest, and they don't even know either, so yeah, but Shazam taking this bottom tier 1. If you take a look at the minimap and take a look at the wards, so we've got this Observer ward protecting the Roche area. You've got another one protecting the bottom lane entry into the Radiant. jungle. You've got another observer ward in the middle of the Radiant jungle. You've got a lot of observer wards protecting this bottom, and they're still going to lose their bottom tier 1. So that's actually a pretty big blow for Not Today. The fact that they got bullied and pushed out of their jungle, and they're going to lose this tier 1 tower, considering they've got all this ward support down here. But this was a fantastic play call to go for Roche here. I'm still not sure if I like the glyph for the mid tier 1. I thought that was maybe a little bit wasted, but they glyphed a little bit early. They could have glyphed here to delay the push coming out from the Dire side, give them a little bit more time in Roche. But in the end, when you look at what happens, it's a little bit of time that they could have bought here, but the glyph actually meant that this tower was a lot more healthy. So maybe it was the right call. I'm unsure. DDX just showed in the top lane. Now he's TPing back to the mid. So they're going to have someone defending mid, so it's not going to be as obvious. But like I said, there's no way that anyone on the side of Shazam is even going to be able to get there. And it looks like we're going to have a deny on the top tier 1 tower as well. His internet is down, Fumins. He's coming back. Is it router or network issues? We don't know. That McDonald's Wi-Fi. And let's actually... Will this even show up on stream? No, it won't. But yeah, this is... I believe this is Mason. Oh, he's actually back. Good. We're going to resume, and
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Roche is about to fall. Bottom tier 1's going to go down. Top tier 1 gets denied. And Roche going to fall. Who's going to get the Aegis? Should be the TA. That's exactly who gets it. Great play calls. Now they're actually going to run up this Shadow Fiend. Was hanging out around here. But yeah, now he's going to back to safety. As the Radiant look like they're going to be gathering towards the mid lane, but there's some heroes coming in behind. Never mind, just the Dazzle warding. There was some other heroes with them, but they decided to go back to the bottom lane and start pushing down there. So they're going to start going towards the tier 2, but not today. They're going after the tier 1 in the mid lane. And that is going to, wow, actually the Visage Bird's getting the top tier 1.
Regeneration.
Mid tier 1 going down, and all those heroes that were pushing the bottom tier 2 making their way back. Realize they can't go for a trade here. They have to come back and defend their tier 2 because there's no reason for Not Today to stop if you keep showing in the bottom lane. There's Ice Blast flying all the way up to the top. And not going to hit anything. It's actually going to hit the catapult. But not going to hit the Shadow Fiend. His Blink Dagger's going to get picked up by the Templar Assassin. Mech getting close on the Darkseer. Close, but not quite there yet. There's Brax once again going for the Midas on the Night Stalker as well. What do these Visage Birds carry? Oh. It's like the... We have a smoke coming out from Shazam as you're going to move down into the Radiant jungle. They're very much focused on taking control of this Radiant jungle, but the Radiant's pretty much never here. Not anymore. They caught them that one time, and ever since then they said, you know what, we're just going to leave and go get other stuff done on the map. And since then, I don't think we've seen a single Radiant hero head to the bottom. Now we're going to have a ping actually coming up from Shazam, so they want to push the bottom tier 2. They have this Observer Ward protecting them from a wraparound gank. Brax is going to actually stand up here, and the reason he was standing there is not because he was trying to look for a gank.
is
but
under
to
attack.
pop any kind of smoke, as they were going to be wrapping around there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now they're going to play us a little bit safer. Darkness
Radiant's
has been
middle
popped
tower is under attack.
by Brax. Blink forward from Benjaz. He's going to get the stun off on the Shadow Fiend. Ice Blast will fly in. It will hit as Shadow Fiend's going to try to TP out. And if he didn't try to TP there, he took a couple more steps, he probably would have been fine. But he goes down, and now they're going to try to chase down Brax. Brax going to try to TP, but he'll go down as well, as Not Today gets 2 kills. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Darkseer doing a little bit of pushing, but Lycan's going to come up here to stop that. So Not Today, they're definitely in control of this game right now. They dictate when we're going to fight, when not to. And look at this Sentry Ward. Immediately countering that. They knew, based on the play that Shazam was going for, that there was going to be an Observer Ward up there. Great read by Goody there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Midas Night Stalker must be NA, I guess.
Dire's structures
I'm not a
are
fan of
fortified.
the Midas and Night Stalker at all.
Dire's bottom tower
I
is
know a
under
lot of
attack.
players do it, but I don't know. I mean, I guess the hero is very XP dependent, and you need to be able to... Oh, we're going to have a battle here. I can't talk about Night Stalker anymore. Oh my
Dire's
gosh,
bottom
Visage.
tower has been
MSS just
denied.
comes in, gets the deny on the tower. He's going to go down for it, but he gets the deny against the TA with Desolator. Not bad. On the top lane, they force back DDX. But once again, Not Today. They're not stopping. They're just going to keep pushing down. They
Radiant's
say,
top
no,
tower
we're just
is
going to keep
under
going for your
attack.
tier 2. Benjaz going to blink forward, going to get the stun off on Brax. Ice Shard's going to fly
Dire's
through.
bottom
Cockey's going to
tower
get the
is
kill with
under
those.
attack. Radiant structures
And now they
are
start chipping away at the
fortified.
tier 2, and then they just
Radiant's
TP one
middle
hero back.
tower is
Benjaz,
under
he's going to
attack.
blink on to Ritsu. As the Shadow Fiend's in trouble, we'll have to TP
Dire's
out.
structures
No Ice
are
Blast this time.
fortified.
SVG actually up on the
Radiant's
high
middle
ground.
tower
They will
is
get the
fallen.
destruction on the tower. The
Dire's
catapult's the
bottom
MVP for
tower
this
is
one.
under attack.
But there is that tier
Dire's
2 getting
bottom
taken by
tower
Not
has
Today.
fallen.
Ours.
And look at this. Not scared at all. The Aegis actually just ran out. That was that sound. As let's actually quickly cycle through a hero. See who has what. As TA actually coming back after that tower push. We'll pick up a Chrysalis. So we're going to add that onto the Blink Desolator. As for the Darkseer mech, 150 gold away. Okay, it is flying in, so... I was going to say, he's a little bit poorer than I was anticipating, but no. Mech flew in, and he's got another 800 gold. AA choosing not to go with the Midas, so we're talking about the Night Stalker Midas. AA actually not going Midas, and that's a hero I prefer to get Midas on. I'm going to go straight for, well, going Urn and then into the Aghanims. And making good progression there. Kaka going to lead the way here. He just has his Arcanes. Doesn't have to go mech this time because they got the Darkseer on their team. TA going to blink forward, not going to find the Night Stalker, just too fast. Now DDX is going to give him the Surge. So he's going to keep trying to chase down Brax. He's going to drop one of the traps. He's going to guess wrong. Brax is going to TP away. But now Not Today will just stick around up here. One hero didn't cover was Benjaz, who's getting harassed right now. But it's a little hard to bring down a Wraith King 20 minutes into the game. As he's got Blink, Blade Mail, and then he's also got a Mithril Hammer as well. Some wards just come flying in for the Tusk. And once again, Shazam just going to give up the tower. They do not want to fight if they don't have to. Going for some split push. They've got the Lycan with Necro Book 1.
Radiant's middle tower
As
is
that'll
under
definitely
attack.
help him split push.
Dire's top
He's got a
tower is
Medallion
under
and
attack.
Vlad's. And they're going to keep going. They're going for a tier 3 here. Benjaz going to blink past the tower. Going to get the stun up on Brax. Ice Shard's going to bring him down to about half HP. Soul Shumption will fly in as Benjaz getting very, very low, but won't prompt that reincarnation. You want that to proc when you're in the middle of the enemy team to get that slow on everyone. That
Radiant's
slow is
bottom
very,
tower
very
is
strong.
under attack.
SVG with Urn. MSS still not finished his Aghanims.
Radiant's bottom
1200
tower
from
has
completing
fallen.
that. His tier 3 is getting very, very low, sitting at 113 HP. Shadow Fiend actually completed a Manta. Didn't go S and Y. And that's actually because he can disjoint the Wraithfire Blast, I'm assuming. That's why he didn't go for the Wraithfire Blast, or sorry, the S and Y to tank up a little bit. Ice Blast gonna fly in from the AA. But everyone else on the side of the Radiant has backed away. They almost got that tier 3 down, but it'll live to, I don't know, something another day. Whatever towers do. I guess they just kind of sit there and then attack something if it ever actually shows up. Kind of a boring life, I guess. But we kind of briefly cycled through the heroes when that top push was happening for the Dire side. We'll go over them a little bit more thoroughly. We do have that Midas on the Night Stalker that we were talking about a little bit earlier. He's picked up a point booster, got another 600 gold. The Shadow Fiend went for that Manta. I also picked up an Ogre Club, so working towards, I'm assuming, a BKB. Lycan had that Necrobook 1, still Necrobook 1. I believe Necrobook 2's flying in on the courier, yes. It is SVG, Urn, Boots, Mango, Wards, Support Life. MSS, 700 gold away from completing that Aghanims now. And yeah, that's actually a really good point, getting pointed out by Morris. 111 AA, and now he's actually put a second point into Cold Feet. So getting those points into stats, very unorthodox for an Ancient Apparition, but I don't think I've ever actually seen that. But those stats, man, too good. Gets you really damn tanky, actually. It's even more surprising that he got that without going Midas. Because now he's not going to have the XP gain that you normally would with going Midas. But actually, I somewhat like this, because getting points into Ancient Apparition's abilities, I mean, how good are they? Cold Feet I actually like, and he's actually maxing that first. Because I think it synergizes the best, as I'm getting talking about this, as Shazam's just smoked, and they're running straight to the Radiant Jungle, and they run right into a Tusk. SVG! Oh my goodness, loses the majority of his HP from one Meld Strike. The second attack was coming in, but the Shallow Grave was there. Ice Blast going to fly over two heroes, but it's not going to hit the intended target of the Dazzle. Now, even with two of the heroes getting hit by that Ice Blast and Tusk up in 8 seconds, Shazam's going to go for Roche, and they're just chewing through this. Oh my goodness, huge vacuum wall, going to bring two heroes up onto the cliff here, and the Shadow Fiend's going to go down. Roche is going to go down as well. Benjaz gets the kill onto Roche, gets the Aegis, and now they're killing Ritsu, and they already killed the other Ritsu up on the cliff here. Huge play from DDX. Oh, that was a little bit ambitious from Shazam. A little bit ambitious for them to go for that. And they got punished. They got punished hard, as Not Today dominated that team fight. Dominated. DDX. My goodness, he did that without blink.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He just ran in and just did it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And what's flying in on the courier here? It's going to be a BKB, I believe, for the TA. Yep, BKB for the TA. Benjaz already has his, and he used it in that fight, so he's down to 9 seconds. Still has the Aegis that he picked up from that fight.
Is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Is he going to wrap around on them, or is he going to cut the creep wave? Looks like it's going to be a wrap around. He's going to run right in. Ice Blast's going to fly out, as Not Today has committed, and they're just going to blow up a Visage, but it's going to cost them their TA. As Benjaz is going to go down as well. He's got the Aegis. But that's going to be the reincarnation for him first. So still has the Aegis. They're going to try to bring down the Lycan, but he'll be able to run back to the safety of his fountain.
Barracks are under attack.
As they try to bring down these racks, and the melee racks will fall. As Lycan's going to re-engage here, as Benjaz is going to try to run away. Still has that Aegis, remember. He's going to get procced now. As the Lycan wants more. He's going to bring down the Tusk here in just a second, or will he? Yes, he will. But now Benjaz has respawned. He gets the Wraithfire Blast off onto Ritsu. But the Shallow Grave is there. Goody's going to try to TP away. He will be able to do so. He's actually able to complete his Aghanims as well. Lycan will eventually go down to that Wraith King, as they're not done. They want to kill this Dazzle as well, but now Brax is on the scene. He's going to come in and save his Dazzle brother. And the drops come out from the Winter Wyvern, but they're not going to find their targets. So the 2 heroes left alive on the side of Not Today, or at least I should say the 2 that are still engaged in the fight, because they had 3 heroes alive. The AA was able to TP out. They managed to get back to safety. But Not Today in a pretty strong position right now. They get that bottom tier 3 and the bottom racks, and then you have to keep in mind this top tier 3 is on its last legs, 113 HP there. So that top racks is pretty much exposed as well. So quickly bring up our items here, see if anything new has changed. I mentioned the Aghanims picked up by Ancient Apparition. DDX was hovering around 2100 gold after that huge play at Roche Pit. He's picked up a Blink Dagger since then. We've got Hyperstone getting picked up by Benjaz on the Wraith King. How much gold does he have on hand? 300. Kaka, Staff of Wizardry. Looks like 4 staff for him probably. SVG, still nothing. Visage has picked up his Aghanims. What is this courier bringing in? It's okay, Necrobook 3 for the Lycan. SF's picked up a Sange, and Aghanim's finished by the Night Stalker. And we've got a smoke, and they're going to smoke and run right to Not Today. They know exactly what they're doing here. And they're going to try to wrap in behind. Will they find anyone? Tier 3 already down. They must know something's happening because they're not showing right now in the lane. So they're going to go on to Benjaz. Benjaz will pop the BKB, and he's going to die before Reincarnation. No, he's not. Oh my goodness, he just barely survives. And now Reincarnation's back up. There was a huge opportunity there for Shazam, and now, because that Wraith King's going to be able to come back up. Oh, this is huge. Now TA is going to be in a man fight here with the Lycan, and she's going to win that. Now Benjaz on that respawn is killing everyone. I have no idea how Benjaz lived there. It must have just been the GG boots from Tusk that saved him. That was huge! DDX! Oh my. There was 4 seconds left on Reincarnation cooldown there. If they got the kill on the Wraith King there, that would have been a very different fight. Shazam would have won that fight. They would have still had their racks alive.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Wow. My goodness. I'm stunned. I am stunned. That was so close to going completely the other way, but the plays were there. The GG boots, the snowball, everything was there.
Dire's middle
As I thought it was, when I saw Benjaz like hiding in the trees and stuff, and then he came out, and then I actually selected him because they were going on him, I realized they were waiting for Reincarnation. And then he just got a little bit too ambitious and stepped out of the trees, and he was getting picked off. And that looked like it was a mistake that was going to cost them, but his teammates were there to back him up. Because frankly, Not Today has just been... They've been outplaying Shazam this game. And was this foreshadowing of things to come? Is Shazam going to finish second in the group and Not Today is going to run over the other teams and finish first? Because they've been playing some really good Dota here. And we saw Shazam dominate their second game of the night. First game was pretty close, and then they just kind of ran away with it. So if Not Today's able to have this kind of performance against those other teams, they should be able to finish first. Now we're going to have a Mjolnir finished on the Wraith King.
Dire's middle tower
Got a DD bottled by the TA right now as well. Daedalus has also been picked up by her. Her BKB's down to 8 seconds. Benjaz is probably 7. Yeah, 7 seconds for him. Kaka has finished his 4 staff. Got a plate mail picked up by Darks here. He's almost got his Shivas. He's sitting at 2,300. Another 1,300 gold for Goody. Wow, the odds for the game was 73 in favor of Shazam. 27 for Not Today. The Bugattis. The Bugattis indeed. People are going to be a little upset. They're going to be a little upset. The Arcanas are lost. One of these days I'll be able to actually select MSS. There we go. He's at 1,900 gold. We're going to have a smoke here. I need reconnect. Oh gosh. Okay. So we wait for TA to reconnect here as Shazam was just starting to make a play that could very well decide this game. If this doesn't work out for Shazam, they just lose. Let's take a look at who is buyback. We have buyback on Shadow Fiend, Night Stalker, and Visage. Lycan, unfortunately, doesn't have enough gold right now. 342 out. Quickly brilling up our gold graph, and oh my goodness, look at that. It's been all Not Today. I mean, it was close for a while, just barely hovering around that 0, but then they just took off. Almost 20k gold lead. XP about 14k. And here's that smoke wraparound. When are they going to engage, and who are they going to go for? It's so hard making a play like this because of the Tusk. The Tusk can just save anyone with a snowball. And if you go on the Tusk, then he just drops into a snowball. Well, here we go. They're going to pop the Darkness, they're going to pop the Lycanol, and they're going to go for the TA, but she's able to get the blink off. Ice Blast will fly, and it'll only hit the Shadow Fiend. It flies over a couple targets, though. So a few have the debuff. As Brax is going to be the first one to go down. No, he's not. Shallow Grave going to keep him alive. The TA does go down first. Brax goes down as soon as that Shallow Grave wears off. So it's just a 1-for-1. As everyone else on the side of Not Today able to run away and get back.
Tower is under attack.
What serve?
So that play from Shazam does actually work out. They wanted to initially get the opening on that TA before she was able to blink. And she was able to get that blink off, so they had to switch off, but then they switched back as soon as the TA came back. And it worked out for them. It was a 1-for-1 trade, and a trade in their favor, but it also meant that they weren't going to lose their mid-racks. And the game. But now we're going to have Shiva's up on Darks here. Goody going for 4 staff. Benjaz, did he pop? Yeah, 6 seconds on his BKB. God, that was a crazy fight, though. Because they came in from below. What are these birds doing? Because they came in from below here. They engaged, and the TA was right here and was able to blink over here. And then they were just kind of lost in the center here. And then they just kind of were fighting. And then all of a sudden the TA came back. And then they just attacked the TA and brought her down. And Brax was on so low HP. When he got around here, the Dazzle was over here with the Grave. And kept him alive for just long enough to give them enough time to kill the TA. Both teams really checking Roche. Is this... We might actually just see both teams fight over Roche. I don't think we're going to see Not Today go for a push. If they go for a push now with Roche potentially spawning and they lose the fight, that just creates a huge opportunity for Shazam. Because yes, they want to fight, but then they're going to get a free Roche. They're going to have an Aegis, which should lead to them winning the next fight. And
Radiant's top tower
it goes from Not Today being in a huge advantage to well, making it a much tougher game. We have a TP in from Benjaz. As the Lycan has his ult popped, he's going to try to run away. The Ice Blast missed. So Ritsu should be able to TP as... Ooh, that was getting a little close. If there were a couple more crits going the way of the Wraith King, it might have not worked out for him at all. But he does get back safely. So now we've got 4 heroes and Not Today grouped. We know they're trying to stick around Roche. Roche is actually up. Familiar has just spotted it. Now the Tusk has spotted it. So both teams know. Not Today's just going to go for it. Ice Shard's going to trap off their other heroes from Shazam. That means that Shadow Fiend's in a vulnerable position here. He will be able to step up onto the high ground where they don't have vision. And now the TA's jumped in and she's going to go down. The throws. Oh, the vacuum. It will hit land the Ice Blast on a bunch of heroes. As Ritsu is going to have to run into the pit. Brax taking a lot of damage here. It looks like he will go down. Ice Shard's going to not actually quite block him off, but they will still be able to get the kill. As Brax does eventually go down, that means Gem's on the deck. Someone will eventually pick that up. As Ritsu's just going to run down and start pushing in the bottom lane. As Not Today is going to go for the Roche. And TA is going to get that Aegis. She bought back after going for a very aggressive blink into the middle of Shazam. And getting absolutely demolished. Kaka might be able to find a kill here onto the Lycan. She's going to snowball in. Ice Blast. Ooh, was there, but it's off the mark. We will get a punch onto the Lycan. But without that Ice Blast, it's not happening. We're going to have a buyback from Brax. And is this going to be enough to force Not Today back? Look like...
Got it.
Maybe. I might just wait for their next creep wave now that their Tusk has made its way up here. Got Shadow Fiend, the only one on the Dire side with buyback right now. Tia once again jumping forward, will be forced to pop her BKB. Ice Blast gonna fly in. And, oh, actually Vacuum, make sure that the debuff gets applied to all of them. Don't actually get hit with the Ice Blast, but this is going to be the end of Shazam. That's a 5-man wipe in pretty much no time. We will have a buyback from the Shadow Fiend, as he was the only one
Dire's middle tower
with the buyback left. The others on cooldown or not enough money. Great synergy there, though. Goody throws the Ice Blast, and yeah, it would have been great if they got the actual Ice Blast hitting everyone. But they lined up the vacuum so that he vacuumed everyone on top of the pass that the Ice Blast was going to be coming in.
Victory.
Great synergy. DDX actually played phenomenally on the Darkseer this game. That was some impressive stuff from Not Today. Really impressive stuff. That was a fun game. I like that. That was a good game to watch. So Shazam, though, they finished 2-1 in the group as they're done all their Group D matches. Not Today, the only other team aside from Shazam with a win, as they're now 1-0. We've got Arctic sitting at 0-1, and excuse me, and as I'm starting some hiccups here, I'm going to try to hold them back. At least this is the end of the game casting. I'm going to still go over the patch notes. I'm trying not to hiccup here so hard, guys. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. No, 1 sec. Alright, we're good. We're good. Cured. Cured, I believe. What a disaster. But yeah, so we've got Not Today in second place, Shazam in first, and the other two teams are going to be tied for last in the group. They're going to look to rebound tomorrow, where we've got 3 more games, and the final 3 games of Group D. That's going to be starting at, I believe, 7:30. Let me quickly check in with our schedule here. Yep, we're going to have, starting at 7:30, we're going to have Boreal against Arctic, and then we're going to have Boreal against Not Today, and then we're going to close it out with Arctic versus Not Today for our final game to determine who of those 4 teams will actually be first and second in the group and then actually advance to the playoffs, and who will be in the bottom 2 and will be sent packing. Then, the day after that, we're going to have Group C starting. And we'll have 2 days of Group C, and then we'll know everyone that is in the playoffs, as we already have, I believe, who is it? It was DC. It was Payne and Leviathan advanced out of Group B, and Group A was DC and who? Elite Wolves? Yeah, I think it was Elite Wolves. But yeah, those are the teams that we already have in the playoffs, so we're going to look to see who comes out of Group D. And yeah, it'll be fun. So that's going to start tomorrow at 7:30. But that's going to wrap it up for this cast. Once again, guys, I was Niz. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed, hit me up with a follow on twitch.tv/NizCast, and come back tomorrow at 7:30 for some more games. But yeah, everything I cast tonight will go up on my YouTube at youtube.com/NizCast, where I put all my VODs up there. And you can also follow me on Twitter at NizCast for any future casts and just kind of fun stuff that I want to link on there. But that's going to wrap it up for the game portion of tonight's cast. We're going to keep going with a little bit more of the patch analysis. But thanks everyone for watching. If you're not going to stick around for that, we'll be back in just a minute if you are. But have a good night.